Sam and the Diamond. Sam went with his brother George to the park forest, where they always meet his friends. When they met their friends, they decided to play hide and seek, on the condition that if the last one wasn't found, the rest was safe. Sam found a diamond behind a tree and got very excited. An adult man wants to steal the diamond, but his best friend Elisa protects him, and Sam was able to escape with it. Sam and his family, before taking it to the castle museum, celebrate that the diamond was going to be called by the name of Sam.
Sam's farm. Sam was a boy who lived on a farm with his animals and was super happy. He always went with his friends to play with the animals there because they all love animals. Until one day, the ant escaped them, and since they did not go to the neighbor house, yes, that neighbor who has a very old house in poor condition and is older, who never talks to anyone and the only thing that comes out is to walking her dog, and toys that come into her house are not returned. So they went to look for the hen at the neighbor house. They called and no one answered. They believed they had already lost the hen. Until at the last moment, the neighbor came out angry, telling with a cane in her hand them what they wanted. They told her that if she let him into her house to get her hen, and in the end she ended up leaving them. At the end, they talked and became friends, and the children invited her to their farm because she also loved animals.
Rick and Morty were at home when they saw on television that an alien had threatened the Earth, so they went to the head. While they arrived at the place, they had transported to the Earth to a different system where a competition between songs was carried out to see who had the best song. They teleported to the president's house to ask him for help because all the singers had did and they could only do something Rick and Morty. The president have him a tambourine, a microphone, and an electric keyboard. While Rick and Morty sang, the U.S. Army launched a missile at the heads and smashed the giant heads. Then Rick created a bigger portal to transport to planet and brought them back.
There was once a mother duck. This mother duck had no children yet, for none of her eggs had hatched. She waited patiently day and night for her babies to born. One day, while she was sitting on her nest of eggs, the mother duck saw the eggs moving. The mother duck watched as, one by one, her eggs hatched. She was so excited to lead her children to the pond and teach them all the ways of being a duck. Unfortunately for the mother duck, one egg was left to hatch. This egg was larger than the rest. This egg was browner than the rest. Her little ducks impatiently waited for 2 more days and nights. "I want to go to the pond, Mom," one baby duck quacked. Let's go," 2 more quacked excitedly. But the mother duck made them all wait, for she promised herself that she would love all the children the same. On the third day of waiting, the large brown egg began to vibrate. Then suddenly, crack! Out from the large brown egg popped a large, strange-looking head of a bird that didn't look too much like a duck. This baby's beak was a little too long, his feathers were a little too scruffy, and his face was a little too ugly. But nonetheless, the mother duck promised herself that she would love all children the same. She led her children into the nearby pond and began to teach each duckling how to be a proper duck. She taught them how to quack. Each duckling quacked. The ugly duckling quacked. All of the ducks in the pond stared at the ugly duckling and began to laugh. "This one doesn't look like us. This one is ugly." The mother duck became very embarrassed of her ugly duckling and made him stay in the corner of the pond, while the others practiced swimming, diving, quacking, and splashing. One evening, as all of the ducks in the pond had gone to sleep, the ugly duckling decided that it was time for him to leave. He knew he was causing his mother distress, and he did not want to live in a place where he felt unwanted. So the little ugly duckling ran away. He approached a new pond that was filled with a family of different ducks. These ducks were happily swimming and quacking. He advanced one of the ducklings, who looked to be just a bit larger and older than the ugly duckling. "Hello, who are you? What are you? You sure are ugly. Though you are quite strange looking, you may stay with us. You are more than welcome to join our family." He was very happy because now he was part of a family, although he was ugly. The winter passed, and the spring came. The ugly duckling grew up, and when he looked himself at a pond, he saw a different bird. Now he was beautiful, his feathers were white, his beak was smaller and prettier. When he met with his family, he realized that all of them were as beautiful as him because all of them were swans, and they were forever beautiful and happy.
Little Red Riding Hood. There was once a family living in the forest. On Little Red Riding Hood's birthday, her grandmother gave her a red hood, and from that day on they called her Little Red Riding Hood. Little Red Riding Hood brought a basket where she carried a cake and a jar of butter to her. The girl was walking calmly through the forest when the wolf saw her and approached her. Riding Hood, where are you going? To my grandmother's house to bring her a basket with food. I also wanted to go see her, so why don't we do a race? You go that way from here, that I will go this other. Okay. The wolf sent Little Red Riding Hood down the longest road and arrived before her at Grandma's house. The wolf entered the grandmother's house and hid it. Later he pretended to be Grandma in her bed, while Little Red Riding Hood went the longest way. Little Red Riding Hood said to her grandmother, "Granny, Granny, what big eyes you have!" "They are to see you better, my precious," answered the wolf. "Granny, Granny, what big ears you have!" "They are to hear you better there." "But, Granny, Granny, what a big mouth you have! It is to eat you better," shouted the wolf, eating the girl in one bite. The hunter, when he saw the wolf was suspicious and approached. As he approached, he took a knife and slashed the wolf's belly. From there the Little Red Riding Hood and the grandmother came out alive. The wolf ran away. When the grandmother and granddaughter left, they hugged and were happy all their lives. Thanks for watching and listening to my book.
The Adventures of the Simpsons Family. This adventure started when Homer said that today all the family went to the stadium to watch the NBA match in the stadium. In this moment, Bart discovered that the dog was disappeared. When the Simpsons family were found the dog, Homer remembered that the dog was dancing in the Bart's room. When Homer discovered where was the dog, they can go to watch the NBA match. And all the family could go to watch the NBA match, and they watch how the Sixers win the match. And this is my story of English.
One warm August afternoon, Takeshi proposed to his friends Nobita, Suneo, and Shizuka to go on a trip to the beach. They all agreed to meet on Friday at 10 p.m. So Nobita asked his parents if he could go, but they refused, reminding him that he had to do his homework. So Nobita,
Marcos and Heredia were walking through the forest. They saw a luxurious house and a big car which they wanted to steal. and the police chased them. He warned the SWATs, and they went to help very well armed. And the children tried to attack the policemen and SWATs, who had no choice but to kill them.
The Hare and the Turtle. One day the turtle, tired of hearing the hare brag about how fast it ran, challenged him to a race. All the animals got around, and when they gave the starting signal, the hare disappeared from sight and the turtle walked slowly. When the hare saw that it was going to win, it stopped to sleep under a tree, and the turtle pressed ahead to overtake it. Finally, the turtle won the race.
Once upon a time, Somat the dog was walking in the woods. It was a sunny day and he was hungry. All of a sudden, he found a big bone in the middle of the grass. He thought it was a good idea to have that as lunch. But then another dog named Donovan appeared and he walked to the bone like Somat was going to do, and they thought about fighting for it. But they realized it wasn't worthy to fight for food, and they decided to share it, and then they lived a long happy life as a couple.
Once upon a time, there was a boy who grew up happy and healthy, but he had something different from other boys of his age. He was as small as a chickpea. Nobody knew his real name because everyone knew him as Chickpea. Chickpea loved help out in any way he could, due to his size. While he was going down to the street, he always sang a song so the people would realize that he was passing by.
He was a such popular little boy that everyone, as soon as they heard the little voice coming from the ground, would step aside to make their way through the crowd. A day, his dad told in his house that he must to go to the countryside. When Chickpea listened to the conversation, he ran to the kitchen to talk with their parents. He went to the countryside. He was running between the plants and he fell on a cabbage. An ox saw the cabbage and ate it with him. His dad finished his work and he didn't see Chickpea. His parents were looking for him and Chickpea did not appear. He was in the stomach of the ox. His mom touched the animal. Through the skin, she felt a small lump the size of a marble dividing from side to side. Finally, they had to go home. They got on the horse and galloped away.
Once upon a time, there was a crow that had a piece of cheese, and a fox was attracted to smell. When the fox arrived, he saw the cheese and began to tell the crow how handsome he was and how well he sang. Crow began to feel blessed and of so many beautiful things. Then the crow told him he began to sing without remembering that he had the cheese, and he stopped. And the fox ran with the cheese.
crow realized that I took the cheese from him and left, and realized that he should not trust everyone.